It's raining, it's pouring, and it's hitting real heavy, but it's like, how can I create a sense of peace for myself? How can I still create joy for myself? How can I figure out how to be okay again, you know? Becoming that best version of myself is what I'm focused on right now. And you know, with educators, it's like, they want you to do the most. They want you to be, you know, the cheerleader, the nurse, the babysitter, all of that. And then they don't want to compensate you fairly for that. And that's just where I have to draw the line. Peace is not the absence of trouble. Peace is the presence of Christ, you know? Wake up. It's the first of the month. Ah. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Nelly V. Hope y'all are doing well. Y'all, today's video, we gonna chat, y'all. We gonna chit chat. That's what we gonna do, okay? I'm excited. I haven't done a sit down video in a long time. These videos kind of scare me, like, because it's just like, you know, when you vlogging, or when you describing something, but when you sitting down talking, you really gotta, you know, I want to make sure I'm dropping gems, make sure you get what you came for. So today I'm hoping to motivate people. I'm hoping to inspire people. I'm hoping to just drop some tidbits from my experience and help you, you know, learn a little bit. Because I am on a journey of just learning, self-discovery, all of that. And I want to share what I'm learning because it's a lot. Like, going through your 20s, just figuring out life, it's crazy out here. Like, it's really crazy. So I just want to talk about that today. And basically, I want to give a life update. You know, just coming out of a season that I just had. I want to share the lessons that I've learned through this self-development journey I've been on. And then I just want to talk about moving forward, how I'm moving, direction for the channel, all of that, okay? So yeah, if you're new here, my name is Nelly V. I make lifestyle content. I make just content about what I'm doing. It's about me living my life unapologetically, living in Atlanta, showcasing Caribbean culture, just talking about life and just loving myself, loving the journey that is life. So yeah, subscribe if that's what you're into and join the family. Okay. So we're gonna get right into it. Let's start with coming out of a rough season. A rough season to me is a period of time where you are questioning who you are. You're questioning what is going on in life, what you want to be, who you want to be. Like, you're blown. You're blown, for lack of a better word, because you're just like, what is life right now? Like, what is happening? And a lot of things can start a rough season. Like, sometimes it's a culminating event, like a traumatic event. Like, it can be death of a loved one. It can be, you know, crisis. It can be natural disaster, a breakup, divorce, whatever the case may be. Sometimes it's not necessarily an event that starts, but you just start feeling these feelings of just like, what is going on right now? Like, what is life? Like, you thought you had 2 feet planted on the ground, and then it's like everything is shaking. You don't know what is going on. And like I said, this can happen from a variety of events, or you can just start feeling these types of feelings. The main common thing with coming out of a rough season, and I'm gonna call it rough season in this video. I have lots of friends. One of my friends, she calls it the wilderness season, which is like a biblical reference, like when, you know, the Israelites were in the wilderness. It can be a season of facing yourself, when you're just like facing the tough questions with yourself. I called it a period of sadness because I just felt like I was just sad. Like, I was just moving through life and I was like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? So yeah, it can just be a bunch of different things. And I feel like the common thread in these rough seasons are just grief, you know? And I don't mean grief, I mean, it can be grief, of course, like if you lose somebody, but grief of, you know, expectations. Like, when something dramatic, whatever happens to you, you grieve, you know, you grieve what was, you grieve what you thought life was gonna be, you grieve expectations, you grieve hope, you grieve dreams, you grieve because you lost something. You know what I mean? You lost something and you're just like trying to figure out, okay, I thought something was gonna be this way and it's not this way. How do I move forward? And that brings you to that period of questioning yourself and figuring yourself out. You know what I mean? So it's just like, with that questioning yourself and with that grief, you just start to feel like, who do I want to be? Or how do I come out of this? So for me, my rough season was just going through grad school. Y'all know school. School is mentally draining. School has this way of just draining all your resources because they want you to be all in. Like, it doesn't matter what you got going on in your life, there's an assignment due at 11:59. It doesn't matter if you had a mental breakdown or somebody's in the hospital, blah, blah, blah. You got shit to do. So it's like school itself is a tough time. Then I had family members who were dear and near to me going through illness where I was stepping in, trying to be a caretaker, do all of that stuff. It's never easy watching your loved ones go through tough times. And so that was, again, also part of my rough season. So yeah, it was just a difficult season of trying to figure out, you know, how I can be in 100 different places at once, how I can take care of myself, how I can be there for others. It was a lot. And in this season, a lot of things start to shift. Number one, I feel like your capacity for things dwindles. Like your mental capacity, your social capacity. I feel like I was a very extroverted person, but I was extroverted, but I had very introverted tendencies. But I feel like I have become totally on the introverted side now. Like social interactions would start to drain me. And even the ones that I wanted to be at, even the ones with my friends and stuff like that, like when you have so much on your mind, you find it hard to be present in certain, you know, settings. And that was a new thing for me because I was always out and about. Like I live my life on go. Like I'm always, let's go to the next goal. Let's go to the next challenge, the next achievement. I don't stay idle. I still don't stay idle. But now I'm learning like, okay, when you're in the season of darkness, sadness, the wilderness, facing yourself, you really have to sit with yourself. Like you really have to sit with yourself. So yeah, your social capacity might become low. Then it's like you start to kind of see how finite life is. And on top of just like everything I was going through, we went through a global pandemic, okay? So that already altered the way life was. So if you can't think of anything, we went through a pandemic, and that was enough to just show you that life is so finite. Life is so, it can change at any moment, and it's crazy. Like it's really crazy. So yeah, social capacity is just at an all-time low. You're really just focused on surviving. What do I have to do? The things that you have to do, probably get up, go to work, you know, show up for your family, show up for commitments, responsibilities, eat, sleep, wake up and do it again. You enter into this period of survival mode, and it's weird because you just have the energy to survive. You don't have the energy to do anything else. And it's just a very different feeling. At least that's how I experienced it. The other thing that I experienced was just brain fog, and just like, again, when you're focused on surviving, like I really don't care about doing homework or doing, you know, the going above and beyond for these assignments. I'm just trying to do what I gotta do to get this degree. You know what I'm saying? Your emotions are kind of like all over the place. So you're just like, okay, what do I have to do? What do I need to get done? And then that's all you have the energy to do. So these assignments, this school, trying to go through school while also going through this season was just a lot, because it's just like I said, school requires so much of you. For me, sometimes I found it to be like a healthy distraction. I wouldn't say healthy, because I feel like you're putting assignments and things that you have to do above your mental health sometimes to just kind of get through. But I feel like for me, I didn't like to sit with these emotions, and I felt like if I sat with the emotions, I was gonna crumble because it was just a lot. Like, and if I sat there and thought about how much I was going through, I wasn't gonna make it. So it's like, now that I'm, you know, I wouldn't say I'm out of it completely, but like the climax of the season, I feel like is done. I'm on the like falling action, you know, in the little like bell curve. I'm on the falling action of it, trying to make sense of everything that just happened type of stuff. Yeah, and then lastly, you just start questioning life. You just start, once like certain ideals or certain things get shattered or your life changes, you start to be like, okay, how do I create a new normal for myself? You start to confront yourself. You start to like really sit with yourself and figure out, who do I want to be? What do I want to do? What does that mean? You know, you're just confronted with, okay, there's a bunch of change. How do I hold on to what I know? How do I, you know, get back to who I am? Like I said, grief is it doesn't have to just be somebody passes away. It can just be feelings of sorrow, feelings of sadness where you're just like, what is going on? And so in that grief period, you are, you change, because when traumatic things happen, you change. And so you have to figure out, who do I want to be going forward? And that grief in like letting go of what was and accepting what happened is part of the work that you have to do in this season. And that can be painful work, and it can just be very draining work. Yeah, so in this season, when you're just balancing so much, trying to take care of yourself, take care of what you gotta handle, your energy is at a limited capacity. And that was just new for me, because like I said, I was just a very extroverted, always out and about. And when I didn't want to do that, I was like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And so I'm very thankful that I had really good friends and family who came in the darkness with me and encouraged me and really just helped me to understand that your feelings are valid, and you have to work on accepting like life as it is and moving forward and grieving and understanding, you know, the changes and everything, but also think about how you want to move forward. So it was a lot of questions, and some of those questions become, what do you want life to be now? Or like, after this event or this change or this season, what do you want to do? You know, who do you want to be? And that can be very scary, but it can also be very freeing, because it's like you can rebuild yourself from scratch, you know? You can rebuild and be whoever you want to be. You take the old stuff, you take what's serving you, and then you build upon that with the new stuff. So some of the questions that happen in these rough seasons are just like, okay, who do I want to be? Da, da, da. And you spend a lot of time alone. You have to spend some time alone to figure that out. What do I see for my life? Who do I want to be? What habits are serving me? What, you know, habits do I need to build in order to build who I want to be? That type of thing. It becomes, how do I want to reconnect with myself? How do I start to recognize myself again? How do I combine old Nelly with new Nelly? Like, how do I combine things in the past seasons that serve me, stuff that I'm learning now, and how do I move forward? And that's kind of where I'm at. So one of the things I learned is like sitting with negative emotions. Sitting with negative emotions was difficult for me, because I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel so blah. I feel just like, I don't feel like myself. I just want to focus on getting back to myself, focus on getting back to Nelly. But it's like, you have to sit with those negative feelings. You have to address what happened. You have to feel your feelings. You have to validate your feelings. You have to like make peace with whatever happened in your life. And you know, that's not to say you deserved anything that happened to you or anything like that, but you have to accept what is, and you have to figure out, okay, what do I want to do about it? You know, and the sad part is the only thing you can control is you. You can't control other people. You can't control other people's actions, what people say, this and that. All you can do is control you. And so for me, it was about finding peace in this storm that I'm going through. It's raining, it's pouring. How do I find peace for myself. And it's kind of like, you know, I am not trying to get too deep, I'm not trying to preach, but it's kind of like when Jesus is walking on water with the disciples. It's raining, it's storming, but he's focused on walking on water because he knows God got him, and he's just looking ahead. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be trouble and strife all around us for the rest of our lives. And it's like, that's a sad realization, but that's the realization I had to come to. It's like, I'm going through a lot. Like, it's raining, it's pouring, and it's hitting real heavy, but it's like, how can I create a sense of peace for myself? How can I still create joy for myself? How can I figure out how to be okay again? You know, this is when you start to become conscious with yourself. When you spend time alone, you become conscious with yourself. You're like, okay, there's some negative beliefs that I believed about myself for a long time. Is this serving me? How do I want to change this narrative? What habits again are serving me? What do I want to do? Like, what do I see for myself? What do I want? How do I get there? It's a period of reflection. It's a period of becoming deeply self-aware with yourself. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, but that's how, you know, I feel like that's how my experience was. Yeah, in these negative feelings, like, it's by no means easy. It's uncomfortable. You're confronting icky parts of you, the good parts of you, but it's like we love the sun and we appreciate when it's good weather and sunny because we know what it's like when it's raining. You know, it's not a good feeling. So, you know, but we need the rain. So life is about balance in that way. It's like we need sadness just as much as we need joy. We need rain just as much as we need sun. So there's a time and a place for everything. But I understand though, because when it's raining, it be pouring. And so, you know, because it's like pandemic it's just everything. It's just everything is hitting you all at once. And so trust me when I say I understand and I relate. So if you guys remember, my word for the year was revival. This season has been kind of lasting for like 2 years, I would say. And I knew this year things were gonna come to an end. I knew I was gonna finish my degree this year. You know, just different things were gonna be shifting. And so revival, I picked that word purposefully because, you know, things have to die in order for them to be revived. And so in a sense, like old expectations, old habits, old notions of yourself, they have to die in order for you to be revived. And that's for me, that's where I'm at. I'm learning what the lessons I feel like I need to learn in this season. Now it's about applying them in this new season. You know what I mean? I'm working on just loving and accepting me. You know, it's like loving myself in my totality means accepting the good with the bad. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to always know, you know, the right thing to do, but you're trying every day. You're trying every day to be better and to apply the lessons that you're learning. It's tough. You know, you're confronting a lot of things. You're confronting childhood trauma. You're confronting negative beliefs, all of those types of stuff. But it's just like, who do I want to be? And becoming that best version of myself is what I'm focused on right now. So that is like the life update and just how my thought process on coming out of a negative season, or I don't want to say negative, coming out of a rough season where you're just getting punched left and right and you're trying to figure out how to create peace for yourself. And that's where I'm at, creating peace for myself. And I always say, and I don't think I said this, I think I got this, but I've been saying this since high school. Peace is not the absence of trouble. Peace is the presence of Christ. So, you know, again, you know, there's always going to be a storm, but how can I choose to walk on water? How can I choose to ground myself and to understand that even though life around me is shaking, I can still choose to have peace within myself. I can choose to have joy within myself. I could choose to focus on the wins. I can choose to focus on the progress. I can choose to focus on the narrative that serves me, you know, like what is the narrative that serves me, what is going good in my life, let me focus on that, you know? So in that period of reflection and in going to grad school, I started to feel like the school counseling life didn't match with what I saw for my life. And what I mean by that is what I learned about me and what I've always known about me is I really value balance. I really value a balanced life. And that means, like, for me, having time to devote to all facets and all aspects of my personality, you know, like taking care of myself, being with my family, devoting my time to YouTube and my craft, spending time developing my spiritual life, all of those things. In this country, or the way that America's set up, they want you to just work, achieve, and then retire, and then that's when you get to live your life. And that just doesn't work for me. That just doesn't work for me. For me, a balanced life means, yes, I'm working, but it's not taking up my whole life. I have a type of hybrid, flexible type of job where I'm able to balance making my content, where I'm able to travel. Like, that's what I started to see for myself. So I love school counseling, and I still want to do it in some capacity. I'm just trying to figure out what that looks like for me. For me, what has always drawn me to school counseling and working with youth and working with students has been helping them to believe in themselves, helping them to accept themselves. Because I feel like, and I was on the middle school level, in that age, you know, kids are going through puberty, they're going through a lot of hormonal changes. You are becoming parts of yourself. Like, personality is getting solidified at this point in your life. And it's like, kids these days, kids in that age, like, they don't want to be different. Like, anything they see that you're doing that's different, they're gonna make fun of you. So they want to just fit in and blend in. But for me, I always want to encourage kids, like, embrace everything that you are. Embrace your differences, embrace your flaws, embrace, you know, what makes you different, because that is really your gift. Like, we are not meant to all be the same. We're not meant to all, you know, have the Jordans, all the I don't know, whatever they want to focus on, that's what they want to focus on. But you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just like, for me, also teaching tolerance, teaching conflict resolution, teaching those skills at that young age, so that it takes you for the rest of your life, or you have it for the rest of your life, and you understand people skills, communication, all of that. So I still love, you know, school counseling, but I just felt like, you know, I didn't want to be in the office every day. I don't want to be in the office every day. And you know, with educators, it's like, they want you to do the most. They want you to be, you know, the cheerleader, the nurse, the babysitter, all of that. And then they don't want to compensate you fairly for that. And that's just where I have to draw the line, because I want a soft life. I want to live my life. I want to do what I need to do. Yes, I love what I do, but it's not who I am, you know? And for me, I've always been attached to a mission. Like, if you ask me, like, I'll be like, oh, I don't have a dream job, because it's like, for me, my job or my mission in this life is to leave every place better than I found it. And I can do that through a variety of different mediums and methods, you know, like through my content, through helping others, I'm not doing it at the expense of myself. And so I want to be compensated fairly. I want to be respected. I want to be valued wherever I am. And that's not to say it's not in a school counseling role, but like I said, I have certain salary expectations. I have certain things that I want, certain things that I want to do. And so we are figuring out if, you know, we're just figuring out what life is going to look like in that regard. Yeah, and I know it seems kind of silly because I literally just got this degree, but for me, learning is learning. I will never regret learning. And I didn't have to pay a lot of money. You know, I don't know if I've talked about it before, but my job helped me out with tuition assistance and stuff like that, because I worked for a university system of Georgia. If you want to know the details, I can make another video about that. But the knowledge I received from this degree was beneficial to me, and I can apply this to a lot of different aspects of my life and other goals that I have for my life. So I am never gonna regret anything, because like I said, learning is learning, and I bettered myself, I enhanced myself, I got some letters to my name, and it's all good and dandy. But again, like I said, that's for society. For me, I feel like I always had the counseling bone in me. Like I always had that gene in me. I just needed to get the letters to be taken seriously. So yeah. So for me, that's my life update. That's the chit chat. That is what coming out of a rough season and, you know, applying the lessons that I'm learning and I've learned in this next season. That's what that looks like for me. Again, loving myself in my totality. I'm excited. I am excited. I feel so relieved because at the end of the day, I came out on top. You know what I mean? It was tough. It was tough, but I got my degree. Things are in a better space with my family. Like, I am grateful to God. I am grateful to just be able to even share this and be in a better space, be in a mental space to be able to talk about this. So yeah, this is about creating peace for myself, and we can do other chit chats on steps and things you gotta do to create peace for yourself, because that could be a video in itself, you know what I mean? But regardless, I am grateful and I'm thankful. So, you know, YouTube, I'm really happy I have this platform. Like, even while I was, you know, going through grad school and everything, I still tried to post, but I definitely want to post more. I definitely want to be more consistent. I feel like for me, you know, YouTube was always my creative expression. It was the only thing I had for me. Like, yes, I was working on my degree. Yes, I was, you know, taking care of family things, but like, YouTube is for me, like, this is, you know, how I creatively express, my platform, my legacy. So I'm excited. For me, I'm just gonna be continuing to share things. I wanna do more chit chats. I wanna do more vlogs. I wanna do more fun, lighthearted stuff. So yeah, like, I've always said there's no niche. It's just me doing whatever I want to do. Join the wave. I hope you got something out of this video, some type of gem, some type of encouragement. That's what I'm here to do. And yeah, the thing that I'm learning about life is just constantly changing. You're constantly growing. You're constantly evolving. You are not the same person you were 5 years ago. You're not the same person you probably were last year. And you know, it's July. It's 6 months left of the year. You still can change. You know what I mean? Like, you're still gonna become a reiteration of yourself. So it's just like, you know, you just have to buckle in and embrace the journey. You know, I think that's just been the biggest thing, like, just embracing the journey with its ups, with its downs, and trying to just keep yourself on, like, 2 feet planted on the ground, even when life is going crazy. You know what I mean? If you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. If you got something from the video, share it with a friend. That's what helps us grow. We are on the road to 1K, y'all. Let's get it. Like, let's get it. I'm gonna lock in this month. I'm gonna lock in the rest of this year, because the rest of the year is all gas, no brakes. Okay, like I said, I wanted to do this update, and I wanted to, you know, give y'all some clarity on, like, where my head is at and everything. And now it's really just full force towards me, my goals, and I'm ready. Like, I'm excited for the rest of the year. I'm pumped. I'm feeling energized. I am going to be working on consistency. I'm going to be working on other little chit chats, other little videos and things I have in store for y'all. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. But yeah, and mainly because, again, I am proud of me. Like, I am taking some time to big up me, because, and you should take some time to big up yourself as well, because if you went through that type of season where you're facing yourself, you're facing these questions, you just are in the wilderness, you just don't know what is going on, and you are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, that's not something to be taken lightly. Because when you're in the darkness and when you're in that season, it can be so hard. It can be so hard to just see, like, what life is gonna look like. So if you're taking the time to create peace for yourself, to, you know, change your habits, change your life, big up yourself. Big up yourself, because it's not easy work that you're doing, okay? subscribe to the channel. I have some other, you know, chit chats about, you know, becoming that girl, building your dream life, steps and habits you need to take to really focus on you, lean on you. I also just want to talk about things I've been learning in my mid-20s and just, you know, with just changing relationships, changing friendships, just all of that. So we're gonna start chit chatting, okay? So like I said, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, start a dialogue. Like, let me know if anything resonates with you, or if you're going through a season of your life and you just wanna, you know, talk about anything. I read all my comments, I like and respond to everything. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see y'all in the next one. Make sure you put your notification bell on, turn the notifications on so you can see when I post. And yeah, all right, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.